Oh, I was going to release a little video on the artifacts and kind of what I'm doing on my Shaman build. It's definitely not endgame ready or worthy. It's just the items that I've managed to get so far. Well, I think while I try and find a bear and push his shit in or get my shit pushed in, I'll just talk a bit about the Shaman. And so far I'm running 2 steam cells for HP. Toying with the next couple of 2. I found the atomic breastplate is situational. Some of the bosses do have. Oh, I can hear bear somewhere. There he is. I'm gonna get charged. Shaman solo.
Onward and upward.
Do I charge in and help him, or am I gonna get fucked up? Leave him to it. Hope we matter. Good luck, bro. So some of the bosses do AoE damage, and it's quite situational that you would need the atomic breastplates, but I do feel like it increases survivability more than an extra HP implant. But saying that, if I'm feeling quite spunky, then I will definitely swap them out for some soldier implants. A little bit of health, but a lot more DPS. Like I say, it just depends on how I'm feeling at the time. And then my other 2 implants, one of them was actually really good rolled Renaissance armor, had crit chance and crit power on it, and it was a somewhat high-ish roll. It was 70, and then 6.5% crit power, 6.7, sorry, 5.7 crit chance. Well, that was pretty decent. So, I crafted my first T3. Not really re-rolled the first stats because they're kind of trash, and I'm probably going to get rid of it soon. But the secondary, 11% crit chance. I'd love to see it. So 2 healing artifacts, 2 defensive, and then 2 HP. And I've got kind of low HP now at 3k. Usually sat around 4k, but I feel like with the double breastplate, the survivability is alright. Struggling to find a bear right now though. And in terms of weapon, I think the only really viable option for melee is Wolf Claw. It is really good with the attack power and obviously the crit hit damage. I've tried a few others. I found that Driller in offhand is better than the maximum of 2.5% crit that you could get and 10% crit hit. So I went for Driller instead. Quite a bad roll, 22 weapon damage and 8% armor pen. But it's more DPS than having a Wolf Claw in your offhand. Just because of the armor pen, like some of the bosses like Golem got really high armor, Deer really high armor. Especially some of the step stuff, so I feel like the armor pen is just way more worth it. Just went all out attack speed on main hand. Got it up to 2.1% native, so I could drop the hunter tree, so I didn't need that. I'm now running Pathfinder, Warrior and Assassin. Assassin and Warrior kind of must-haves for these builds. Pathfinder, I feel like it's kind of underrated even in group play. Like, I know that one doesn't work, the passive doesn't work, but this one does, this one does, this one does, and this one does. So whenever using a consumable, you get 10% damage and 10% damage reduction for 20 seconds. That's huge. That's bigger than any other tree you're going to get. Campfire gives you 10% more primary attribute, which for me is attack power. So I get another 18% attack power. Huge. Desperate Escape, just in case you do drop below 15%, you can dip away, heal up, get back in the fight. And then Duration Enhancement System. All effects greater than a minute are 30% stronger and last 40% longer, which is actually bugged. It's not bugged. The tooltip's wrong. It's actually 50% longer. So stuff like, okay, I've not got it on. This one, 11 minutes, actually goes up to 17 minutes, which is actually super strong. And then it's 30% stronger on the 0.5% as well. So when that's at max stacks, I'm at like 10% more health, which 10% more health ties in with the warrior, and I get something like, I don't know, 17 extra attack power. So huge. Like I said, kind of underrated. Let's see if the bear's up here. Berry, 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 berry. No,
On the move.
someone just killed that one as well. The worst part about this fight is just getting in there before he charges you. I started just kind of summoning the wolf, sending the wolf kind of halfway, making him charge, and then I can just quickly dash in with Q before he gets a second charge off. We'll see how that goes. I've fucked it up several times. And I've not tried it with double atomic breastplate, so I might be able to tank a hit, I don't know. We will find out. Group plays. I mean, it looks like a hybrid build, but I kind of don't feel like it is actually that hybrid. Because the DPS is good. I had a race with a ranger on the target dummies, killed it, you know, twice as fast as the ranger did. But the healing's nowhere near as good as a dedicated shaman or blast medic. It's just kind of meh. I think right now it's... Hello? Was it not? 20 plus... It's about 55, maybe 52 healing per second. Nothing to be sniffed at, but it's not great either. And in terms of weapon mastery, we are rocking all the way till, well, pretty much Spirit's Fusion, but through Elemental Mastery. Elemental Synergy is pretty good for the water element, and then auto attacks in Earth element. Another build that I was playing was all the way through Totemic Empowerment, just for those like super long totems, because that gives you 0.5 second duration on the totem duration. Extended totem as well, an extra 5 seconds. That was kind of good gameplay. Rip Apart, it only increases the range if you put more points into it. This one I kind of feel like is absolutely necessary for getting your stacks back up, because it goes above the 2.5% cap of attack speed. So where I'm at right now at 2.1 with the kind of attack speed from my Wolf Claw and the chips that I've got in it, I'm sat at cap when I've got 5 out of 5 of my Totemic Mastery. So I'm kind of in the perfect place right now. I don't need any more attack speed. That's why I could drop Hunter basically, because I just don't need the attack speed right now. But when you hit Q and you get that 100% attack speed, actually goes above 2.5. It goes up to like 3.6 for those 4 attacks, which is actually kind of huge. So 100% worth it in my eyes. And where possible, I know it doesn't work on bosses right now, but you can interrupt with that as well, which is absolutely awesome for PvP when someone's trying to cast on you, or just mobs out in the real world as well. Super helpful. When it comes to rotation, building up the stacks with Q, because you have the 100% attack power on the first 4 hits, is actually huge as well for getting totems out and totem twisting, like the Warcraft days. Just getting both totems out at the same time. I know it kind of ruins you a bit because of the attack speed, but actually providing that utility to the rest of the team, where you've got the healing totem out and you've got the earth totem out for attack power, which is actually pretty sick as well. Especially when legionaries at the minute are kind of struggling to keep threat unless they are, you know, fuck's sake, using 2 of the aggression chips, or, you know, heavily stacking armor so they've got that additional attack power. Maybe it's just the group that I'm in, but it's been working really well, dropping the totems that I drop. I mean, I could just always drop Earth Totem, then go back to Water Element just to get the mana back, and just sit at full mana all the time. But I feel like it's better to drop the totems for the group. See if the bear's down here. Come on, bear.
Stop!
I'll give this a second because I've been caught out with this before. Things will chase you for about 7 screens worth And just as you're looting something, you just get a random axe out of nowhere that fucks you up. I lost the blood honey that way. Super sad. Oh, and he gets the blood honey on the first one. If it wasn't streaming, nobody'd believe it. Love to see it. So if this bear kills me, guaranteed I'm dropping that blood honey. Don't think you drop food, do you? What else can I drop? Nothing but the blood honey. Wood. Oh, not the timbers. Not today. Not without the legionary. I can kill them, but it's just kind of scuffed. Especially when they do that breath that seems to be not interruptible. There's no cast bar on it. I tried to interrupt it. I don't know if it's just poor timing on my part or it just genuinely isn't interruptible, but it is absolutely AIDS to deal with. It must be magic because I've got hardly any magic res. It absolutely tanks me. What the hell is that in the water? Hello? Is he gone for a swim? What is that? It's gone now. Oh, it was the bear. What the fuck is he doing? Alright, here we go. Pop a D, pop one of those, pop one of those. Charge him. And here we go. It is pretty easy, it's all about just avoiding those big attacks, that's all. You see the uptime that I've got now. So drop the totem, 100% attack speed, pretty much straight back up to 5 stacks. And now look at the time on the totem. I've got plenty of time that I could actually switch to this. Use Q to get back up to the stacks. Just in time to drop it again. So this is what I mean by totem twisting, not paying attention there. All there. This is why I absolutely love the Pathfinder tree. Pay attention. To get the Eldritch Transmutation, 10% more damage and 10% reduced damage is just fucking goated. So underrated.
On the move.
Easy as that. You can definitely do it without the T3, but I feel like 2 implants with some health is definitely worth it. And when you're on your own as well, obviously you've got Pathfinder, so 10% less damage I feel like is better than the 10% more damage. And then obviously Eldritch Transmutation, so this tree alone is giving me 20% damage reduction for the entire duration. If I'd have popped a campfire as well, I'd have had an extra 10% more attack power. It's just, yeah, just fire. What else we got? So that's all the talents. You could go between Bloodthirst and True Strike. Extra 5% attack power when you're missing your health. You could purposely take a few hits if you're that tanky. With 2 atomic breastplates, I could do that, but I feel like when I'm at attack speed cap at 2.5 a second, the 3%, I know it's even capped at 100 damage or whatever it actually is, but I feel like that just quickly adds up when you're at max attack speed. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know, I've not really done the calculations on it, but I feel like it is. Crit stacker, obviously pointless for me at almost 50% crit chance when Shadow Strike procs. But Blade Master just does not work for this class because Q just doesn't proc it, and Disruptive Strike is kind of a PvP thing, and I'd never do 30% of the boss's damage in that amount of time, so kind of pointless. But yeah, hopefully this answers a few questions that you guys had. The other good one, which I didn't proc this fight, is hitting F7 to reproc the ammunition charger and go for the cardio, which is actually pretty good for staying alive, but you just burn through ammo so quick because obviously you've got high attack speed and there's no internal cooldown on it, so you're just burning through ammo. But if you are getting down to like 25%, just pop that on. You know, it's like a really good
Onward and
benefit for getting your
upward.
health back that goes alongside your water totem. So yeah, definitely worth doing a cardio chip. There's the other one that executes or does some kind of execution damage towards 20% or lower. I did use that for a bit, but I didn't really notice the big numbers pop in as they were getting into the less than 20%. I think my increased damage was just coming from healthy aggression. Not healthy aggression, that's wrong. Execution is edge. But yeah, it's really good to pop cardio if you are getting low, especially with the attack speed. But yeah, any questions, drop them in the chat. Do what I can to help you. Cheers, guys.